Hey friends, it's Molly. Welcome back to my channel. Do you ever just look through social media and just follow? See, I follow a bunch of artists and I'm constantly looking through and getting inspiration and ideas, and I just love it. I love having access to all of this. You know, back in the day when I was in art school, I was constantly just going through books or magazines, and now it's just every day new content, and I just keep looking and being inspired. Well, today's project is actually inspired by one of my former art students back when I first started teaching elementary art, Shelby, who I'm gonna put a link to her website down below, and you need to go check her out on Instagram. She's so incredibly talented. She just did a series of paintings of Cozy Coupe cars, and I love them. They're so playful and colorful, and they're just adorable. And I'm so incredibly proud of her. She actually had, the launch date was today, like while I'm filming, and I have been watching those things sell like crazy. It is amazing. Anyways, I'm very proud of Shelby, but also was very inspired by it because I saw these little cozy coupes and I thought that's such a big part of Baby Jack. Loves his little plastic car that he rides around in. And I just thought, you know, it would be so cute to have one of those. And then I thought, you know, what about a series of family vehicles? I mean, I have a Highlander, my husband drives a Volvo, my son Owen is constantly riding his mountain bike, so I thought it'd be really cute to do a series of 4 pictures that represent us and the way that we travel. So today, I'm gonna be creating some paintings that will represent each person in my family. So this is Jack's little car, and what I'm gonna do is I've got to photograph this, and I'm just gonna take a picture with my cell phone because it does not need to be perfect. And although this is not the Cozy Coupe, this is actually by a company called Simplay 3, and I'll tell you the reason I got this one instead of the Cozy Coupe. I'm tall, so the Cozy Coupe, when I would try to push the Cozy Coupe around, I was like hunched way over. And this is so great for tall people. And Jack loves it. He absolutely loves his car. So I'll put a link to this one below if there are any other tall people that need a little version of a Cozy Coupe that doesn't break their back. So I'm gonna take a picture of this, take a picture of my car and of Owen's bike, and then my husband's at work, so I'm gonna have him take a picture of his car and then text it to me so I can use those as inspiration for my paintings. Okay, so I went to Michael's because they were having a sale on their Artist Loft Canvas Value Pack. So I actually got 2 2-packs, the 12 by 12 canvases, and they were 40% off. So I think I paid $8 for all 4 of these. That's pretty good. Okay, so I finally come out and get everything set up, and then everyone starts doing their lawn. It is what it is. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix up a bunch of color because I've decided I'm gonna paint each one of these a solid color, and then I've got to let these dry before I can actually draw on them. Oh yeah, that's looking really pretty. So instead of painting this onto my canvas, I am just going to scrape. Use the flat side of my palette knife. And I'm just going to gently scrape the color on. I finished this one. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to alter this color just the tiniest bit. And so each of my 4 panels is gonna start with this as the base color, and then I'm gonna alter it. So it's either gonna be a little bit lighter or a little darker. So they're all not really an ombre kind of thing going on. I mean, I guess it would if I kind of lined it up, but I just want it to be a little different. I don't want them to be all exactly the same color. So I'm going to add a little bit more gray to this one, and it'll be time to paint the second one. Next color. I'm gonna do the same thing on this one. This one's a little bit more minty, which I really like. When you're scraping your background, you want to make sure, first of all, that you're moving pretty quickly, because as it starts to dry, it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be gumpy if you started to scrape. So I like to scrape, but not scrape. If you scrape too hard, you're going to see the canvas comes through. Downside of painting outside, you get lots of things flying into your paint. But if you just gently scrape over it, you can kind of even pick up, and you're gonna get these great little lines in here. So it's gonna give it some texture. So a lot of times I'll go in one direction and cover the whole canvas, and then I'll turn it the opposite way. You just have to make sure that it's still wet enough, because you definitely do not want it to get all gumpy. Gumpy, not good. So now I have two done. And see how there's just a slight difference in the colors? This one's already starting to dry. So I want to go a little bit darker with this one. So I'm just going to add some gray. And this is not going to be a little darker. This is going to be way darker because I added too much gray, but that's okay. Actually, I think this is going to be perfect. Always better to add little bits at a time, because you can always add, but it's not as easy to take it away. It is time for canvas number 4. I'm running out of space on my table. So here you can really see it. So if I press too hard with it flat, you're gonna see those little lines, and then you're gonna start to see the canvas through it, which is fine if that's the look you're going for. But I feel that it's better to just kind of put your paint on and then go flat with your palette, and then just kind of rake it across. And then you get that kind of, it looks a lot like plaster. Get that kind of plaster look, which is a great little texture. So here are the 4 colors. And I'm not loving this one. This one is a little too bright. These are nice and muted and work well together. This guy, he doesn't fit in. So I'm going to paint over him, and I think I'm gonna make him, and I don't know why it's a him, but it's a him. So I'm gonna make him a little bit darker, because he's just too bright and happy. I mean, not that I don't love bright and happy, but you know what I mean. Like, these are soft and muted, and this is just like, hey, I came to the party, what's going on? It's like these 3 had a party, and they coordinated on what the dress was gonna be, and then this poor guy showed up wearing the wrong thing. So we're gonna fix that. Okay, these are much better. So I'm gonna let these dry. I've got a few little pieces of nature that have fallen onto my canvases, but that's okay, because once it dries, then I'll pick that off. I'm not gonna mess with it now. It's too late now, but let these dry, and then we will start sketching out our designs. Okay friends, I'm back, and it's been a little bit. I had big plans on finishing this the very next day, and then baby Jack had other plans, so that didn't happen. But the nice thing is that my canvases are now really, really dry. And I've got, I don't know how well you can see this, but it's a little dark, but you can kind of tell. So there's 4 different shades of this same blue. Now what I'm gonna do is I've taken pictures of my car, my husband's car, baby Jack's little plastic car, and Owen's bike. And those are gonna be the things that I draw on here. So this is gonna be a real quick, easy project because I have this amazing little projector that you just put an image underneath and it just will project it right on, and I could have just traced, and then I would have painted, and then it would have been done. And I can't find my projector. And it's an awesome projector. It's so good. But you know, I don't think I've seen it since we moved into this house. So I might be buying a new one. But I will link that one down below so that you can have a really nice projector like I do somewhere in my house. So now I have to freehand this. I'm not the best at drawing. Or maybe it's I don't enjoy drawing that much. I wish I did. I've just never, to me, drawing was always kind of, it was always kind of a chore. Like I have flashbacks of my figure drawing class where I had to draw the skeleton. That gives me anxiety. That was a lot. That was a lot of bones. I did not enjoy that at all. I think I'm much more, which is kind of interesting, I'm much more of a 3-dimensional type of artist. Like I love to sculpt, I love to do pottery, I love to weave. And I really do, I enjoy painting, so that doesn't really make sense, but I just don't love drawing. I need to love to draw. I think I need to just practice more. And of course I love photography, but that's a whole different beast. Anyway, I am going to start drawing these. I have all the images on my phone, so I'm gonna look these up. I'm gonna give it a go. These are gonna be kind of rough. That's okay, because then everybody will see they can do it too. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my vehicle first. Okay, now it's time for Owen's bike. And we're gonna go with good old Sprite can wheels. Right spot. Okay. So here are our wheels. This one I'm gonna get real lazy on. We're using the ruler, folks. Last one, then I can get to the part that I actually enjoy. So here's my absolutely horrible drawing of my little coop, which is so bad. Bless his heart. He can't help it. What happens when you draw him at a weird angle. I mean, he really is, like, bad. Okay. I'll tell everybody Jack did it. Okay, so now that we have endured the very painful process of me actually drawing, we are going to mix up some colors. So I think I'm gonna start with Jack's little plastic car first, just because I think he needs the most help. I did kind of adjust the sketch because he was looking a little wonky, and he wasn't exactly proportionate, and you know, we were having some issues. But I fixed him, kind of, and so we're gonna mix some paints, get him going so that he can be done, because he'll probably be the most challenging just because I'm gonna try to fix while I'm painting, but we'll get to that. I mean, I already have screwed up. Y'all, this is not my day. Over here with a headache, trying to do this. This is not my day. Good news is if you can wipe it off pretty quickly, add a little bit of water to it, you can normally get all of it off. Gone. I love the golden fluids. I know y'all can't see it, it's over here. Golden fluids, the paints, I just love them. They're so fun to work with. So right now what I'm gonna do is just, almost like when I sketched with my pencil, I'm gonna do that with my paint. I'm just gonna kind of block in my colors, and I'm starting with I would say probably the medium red, and then I'll go in and add some highlights and some shadows. I almost said low lights, you know, like I'm getting my hair done. So here's what I always told my students. There's no wrong way to do art. The only wrong way to do art is just to not do it at all. And just have fun with it. As much as I don't enjoy drawing, I really wanted to do this project, and it's okay if this isn't perfect. And it's okay for you if you're thinking, well, of course you're gonna try this, you're an artist. I don't draw, and I really haven't even painted in a long time, but I just wanted to try it and just wanted to have fun with it. And I really encourage all of you, if you are anxious about the drawing part, look into that projector that I put a link to in the description. You don't have to know how to draw, you just have to know how to trace. And get that part out of the way, because that's the part that I feel like most people are anxious about. That's the part that I was anxious about and kind of am still a little anxious about. But you just have to give yourself a little grace and just let it go. Enjoy the process and have fun with it, and don't worry. Now I need to mix up my white for the top part, and then add some little details for the wheels. And then I'm gonna let him dry a little bit before I do much more. Now, one thing I like to do is I like to go around my painting and kind of outline it a little bit, even do some of the little details inside with just a little bit of the Mars Black. And then what I'll do is I'll usually mix it with a little bit of water or a little bit of my matte medium. So I have the Liquitex matte medium. I use this all the time. But I'll go and put a little outline, and then what I'll do is I'll take a little bit of that matte medium and I'll mix it with the colors, and then I'll paint back over it, so it's almost like kind of a little bit of layering, so that this ends up being more of a shadow and less of an outline. Okay, so I have been working on Owen's bike, which I decided I was going to do his tires really fast so that it looked kind of muddy, and yeah, I think it worked. Anyway, I've got the bike done, I've added some details, and I've got Jack's little car done, and my wonky car done, and then Corey's little wagon done. And I was looking at them, kind of putting them all together, and I don't like just the solid blue, so I think what I'm gonna do now is I want to do some sort of design in the background, so maybe to make it look like wallpaper. So I'm measuring, this is a 12-inch canvas, and I'm just putting little 1-inch hash marks at the top and the bottom, and then that way I can kind of draw straight lines. So I found a wallpaper that I really like that was just kind of a little bit more modern on, let's see what the website was that I found it on. This was on AllModern, and it's just some little hash marks, and I just kind of liked it. So, and it's not perfect, which I really like since I'm painting this, and it's not going to be perfect anyway. So I am going to measure these lines out and get this grid going, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so now that I have these little lines, I'm just gonna start making some little V's going down like this. Almost like little leaves. They're definitely not perfect, but that is okay. Paint so that matte medium really just kind of thins it out and makes it work a lot better. So that is one direction, and then I'm going to turn it this way. And this time I'm going to go in the opposite direction. So I'm actually continuing to draw down, but because I turned it around, they'll be going in different directions. Okay, so here is my bicycle painting. And now it's time to work on the cars. I'm gonna do some circles and trace some circles and fill them with dots kind of going around. His is a little off anyway, so see how he's a little crooked? So I'm gonna just accentuate that a little bit, make it look a little more intentional, like he's kind of on a hill. And then I'm gonna continue just some little circles going around. That way it looks like I meant to do this. For this one, I did my little path, and then I've done some kind of arches going around it. And I'm gonna keep going and adding my dots. Actually, I may go this way. Oh yeah, oh, we're right in the paint. Okay, but I'm gonna switch colors now and keep going, and I'm gonna try to keep this little one out of the paints. Yeah. Don't touch the paints, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, no, when I said don't touch the paint, that meant don't touch the paint. Okay? This one, I'm gonna do some just like little horizontal dash lines. I'm gonna make them about 1 inch apart, but I don't want them to be even. I want some of them to be stacked. And I don't want to go through and have to draw all of these, although it might be easier that way. But with this little ruler, I can just very easily make them 1 inch long. And keep on going. So I also love this ruler because I can line up what I've already done. Make sure that my lines don't get all wonky. Make sure everything's level. Okay, so here is the Volvo with its little hash marks. Kind of wonky, kind of crazy. But I kind of like it. And now it is time to move on to the final one. Okay, so I painted over the blue, and I actually used my palette knife and just kind of scraped some of the milky white on there. And then what I'm gonna do now is, I think I'm gonna scrape a design into this. Finished. See my little plus signs? So finished this one, and this is the last one, and it's still wet, so we're gonna have to let this dry. Okay, so here they are, my 4 little paintings, our family transportation paintings. This was really fun to do, and I'm glad that I forced myself to do it. I'm glad that I got out of my comfort zone and just gave it a try. You know, it was fun, and I learned some new things. I hope you guys will be inspired to try just getting out of your artistic comfort zone and just see what you can create. So whether you're an artist or brand new to painting, I highly recommend going and looking at other artists' work. And not to steal it, not to take their ideas and run with it, but to be inspired by their ideas. And it's great practice. And also, it kind of gets us out of our comfort zone, and that is when the creative juices start flowing, and that's when the ideas start coming. I love writing down ideas. Actually, I have my little, this is Molly's little book of big ideas. This is May Designs, which they have these great little notebooks. But I'm telling you, idea central. I constantly am writing down ideas in this book. You never know when inspiration is gonna hit. And I've found, and I also think it's really, sorry, I'm kind of aggressive with my paintbrush right now. I miss being in art school and having the critiques. I loved sitting in the classroom and looking at other people's work. And it's funny because it didn't necessarily make me want to do what they did, but it would trigger these ideas, and I mean, I would just write like crazy. So I encourage you to get a notebook and a pen or a pencil, whatever,
and sit down and start clicking through some artwork and just really come up with some ideas. I have Pinterest boards full of ideas and inspirations, so you can look up color schemes. You can go through and Google Pinterest color schemes, and you can even pick one color and it'll give you a million ideas. So I highly recommend that. That's also a great one if you're trying to kind of stuck and trying to figure out what colors you want to use for your paintings. But just start looking at some artists' work, get on YouTube and watch what other artists make and what they paint, and you'll get some ideas of just some things. And then challenge yourself. This is not something that I do. This is not how I typically paint. I don't look at pictures and draw them, or look at objects and draw them. I just don't do that. I'm much more of a folk arty style of painter. I like to just kind of get the flow going and just start painting and having fun with it. This is a little bit more structured than I like to do, but it was good for me because it got me out of my comfort zone and it made me try something new. And so that's what I encourage you to do. Try something new. Well guys, thank you for joining me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you have subscribed, be sure to hit that bell icon so you'll be notified when I upload a video. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon.